Hi there, welcome to Digital Juice Fonts Training in After Effects. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a few quick and easy ways to extrude your DJ fonts, which will help give a little more depth to your animations. Alright, first we need our font. For this tutorial, I used Volume 11 Metal Hatch from the DJFonts library. Now I will create a new composite. Under the Composition menu, select New Composition. Select the HDTV 1080 29.97 preset from the Presets pull-down menu and click OK. Now I'll drag my font into the composite. As you can see, the juicer has the capability of rendering the fonts out at a very large resolution. So I don't have to worry about scaling the imagery up to meet the demands of my composites. I'll turn on the 3D checkbox for this layer and add a 3D camera. To do this, we will go to the Layer menu and select New Camera. For this specific tutorial, the camera settings aren't all that important, so I'll just use the 35mm preset and click OK. Alright, now I have my DJ font in a 3D space. If I grab the Orbit camera tool and move the camera around in my composition window, you'll notice that my font rotates in all three dimensions accordingly. But let's say I want to rotate my font or come in at an angle that would show some depth. Now my font is a little too flat for the animation. That's easily solved. Here's some simple tips to adding some depth to your font. The first and easiest method is to highlight your font layer in the timeline and go to the Edit menu and select Duplicate. Now click the bottom layer and parent it to the original font layer. This way, whatever I do to the top layer, like position, scaling, or rotation, applies to the bottom layer. Now I have two font layers sitting on top of each other. With the bottom layer selected, hit P for position and set the Z position to 5. When I zoom in, you can see the second font layer is 5 pixels behind the original font layer. Let's do this a few more times to get a nice extrusion. So again, click the bottom layer and go to Edit and select Duplicate. Or if you want, you can use the keyboard and hit Ctrl-D on Windows or Command-D on the Mac. After you've duplicated the layer, change your Z position to 10. I'll repeat this process 3 more times in increments of 5 on the Z position. So now when I grab my Orbit camera tool and rotate the camera around the comp, my text is three-dimensional. If you don't want to have all these extra layers in your way while you build the rest of your animation, simply click on the Shy Layers button for all but the original font layer and then turn the Shy Layers on. The result is a cleaner and more organized timeline. If you need to add or delete any of those layers, just turn Shy off and edit your timeline. Because this is a metallic font, duplicating and positioning every 5 pixels works fine. The stacked extrusion adds to the metallic effect. However, notice what happens when I rotate directly underneath the text. We have a stack of cards effect here, and I can literally see through the layers. Now I can go back and adjust the layers for every 1 pixel and duplicate the layers 20 to 30 times, but that's a bit time consuming. The second method is to let After Effects do a little bit of the heavy lifting for this. All you have to do is add a simple expression. So first I will unshy all of the duplicate layers and then delete them. Now with the font layer selected, hit P for position and put your mouse cursor over the stopwatch. On the Mac, hold down the Option key and click on the stopwatch. On the PC, hold down the Alt key and click on the stopwatch. This enables an expression on the position property of the layer. Okay, replace transform.position with position plus bracket 0, 0, parentheses, index -1, parentheses, times 1, and bracket, and click off the expression. What this basically does is move the position of the layer 1 pixel back in Z-space for every duplicate that we make. So let's duplicate the layer, Command-D on the Mac, Control-D on Windows, and parent the bottom layer to the top with the pick whip. Now just keep duplicating until you have the depth that you're looking for. I'd recommend shying these layers as you probably have 20 or more duplicates at this point. Now if I rotate around with the camera orbit tool, you can see that I have a 3D extruded font that looks great, and I don't have a stack of cards effect anymore. Of course, having 20 plus duplicates of your font will add more to your preview and render times, but it's completely worth it when you get to combine the unique and versatile DJ font library with the power of the After Effects 3D camera. If you have any comments, questions, or tutorial requests, feel free to drop us a line at the Digital Juice Forum. Thanks for watching.